When a new Call of Duty set in the Second World War was announced, I knew I had to prepare. Oh yeah, that's right. We're going full retard on this one. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Henry aka Ninfreak, and today we're going to take a look at the most woke Call of Duty that no one ever asked for. On the woke side of things, before we get into the actual game, can we just talk about something else? Apparently this is more on the Blizzard side of Activision Blizzard, but that more or less entails that whole bunch. Isn't it a bit strange how they're celebrating LGBTQ+ pride, of course only in the West, gay people don't exist in China. They're focusing on their strong female characters that nobody liked. They can't shut up about their diverse cast, only to have a Russian character be played by an American actress. And they can't thank their team enough. But all news surrounding the company that aren't about games are about sexual harassment, abuse and discrimination. Wouldn't that be funny if it wasn't so disgusting? I think there is a word for that. But I can't put my finger on it. So, yeah, Vanguard. Oh, where to start? Let's go over the campaign first. If you followed some of the advertising before the launch, you might remember how it was said that Vanguard will show the birth of special forces. So, yeah, that was a fucking lie. We are actually following the story of one random fictional task force just when the war is about to end. This could have been the origin of Special Air Service or some missions of the Jindits. Instead, we have to deal with this dysfunctional group of people, consisting of token black character, strong female character, angry white guy, clumsy white guy, and expendable crew members number 1 and 2 that should both serve as emotional fuel but are actually the lucky ones that don't have to endure the rest of this trip. The mission of Task Force Vanguard is to be insufferable in every waking hour, remind us that 141 is way cooler, and collect intel on Project Phoenix along the way. Honestly, they should rather collect intel about this ominous German cloaking technology, because, you utter fools, German science is the finest in the world. Our starting point is a train on the way to Hamburg, but it should have been clear from the beginning that as soon as you jump on the bandwagon of wokeness, everything derails. We are witness to fights between the feared German troops and our elite task force. I can't put my excitement into words. In a world where Call of Duty campaigns are constantly bashed for being too linear, a stroll aboard a train sure is a welcome change. Well, shortly after, we are being captured by what's essentially the Kylo Ren to Adolf Hitler. Expendable crew member number 1 does the only right thing by this point and uninstalls the game. What follows is a series of interrogations by little soy boy over here as he attempts to find out everything about Task Force Vanguard. Spoiler! During the interrogation, the Nazis find out that Token is the leader of the bunch and are just as baffled as I am over how progressive the Americans were in the 1940s. Of course, everyone in the unit fully supports Token despite his skin color, because they're straight from the 21st century.
I don't care what color his skin is.
Don't get me wrong, I fully support this message, but the way these characters act make it seem like Rosa Parks must have had a pretty ordinary life. Later we learn a bit about his previous mission and that he followed his duty, and that's how he ended up being the leader of this task force. Because someone thought if nice guys do nice things, they're entitled to lead a special unit. Okay! Next up we play the backstory of Paulina, aka strong female character, who is loosely based on Lyudmila Pavlichenko. Well, she's basically Farah from Modern Warfare, but always angry. Also, according to the game, she is the sole reason why the Soviet Union kept on fighting. Alright then. Well, for me she is the reason why I remembered that we don't need strong female characters, we need strong characters that happen to be female. Her story takes place in Stalingrad. 50,000 people used to live here. Now, it's a ghost. Oh no, wait, that's not how history works. There should be a bloody war taking place. Why is Paulina the only one fighting here? Moving on, there is Wade. He is a pilot, and his mission is just slightly more interesting than that boring jet mission from Battlefield 3, but really, not by much. Eventually he's injured pretty badly after a crash landing, but hey, he's back on his feet 5 minutes later. At this point, the writers kinda forgot the narrative they were pushing for and accidentally told a story about a bunch of black guys that can't get the job done without a white guy taking the lead. Whoops. Now even expendable crew member number 2 is so bored by this campaign that he left the game, and we're supposed to feel any kind of emotion for a character we barely know. Last but not least, we have Lucas Riggs, an Australian soldier who is treated like shit by the British. Hey, this is historically accurate. After everything the story has been going for so far, I'm actually positively surprised that it acknowledges that you can be racist against white people. His story concludes with him punching his higher-up in the face and landing in prison. How he ends up in Task Force Vanguard is a mystery. So there we have it. All the backstories explained. Now it's time for the actual plot around Project Phoenix and something about wannabe Adolf declaring himself as the new Führer and his plans about creating a Fourth Reich? What the fuck? As the Red Army is playing a better game, he makes his escape for Tempelhof to safely leave Germany. Time to replay this one mission from Modern Warfare 3. On that note, it's Oranienburger Tor, Frankfurter Allee, Osthafen, Stadtmitte, Spittelmarkt, Warschauer Brücke, Rathaus Neukölln, and the Nazis really didn't call it Karl-Marx-Straße. In the end we capture the main villain because we need him alive. Oh, for fuck's sake! Yep, that's it. Just when the actual plot starts rolling, it's already over. All those backstories for nothing. If the story gives such a fuck about history, why didn't we get some tinfoil hats and further imagine this Nazi underground movement story thing? Hey, we have a task force. Wouldn't it be a far more interesting story if this group was sent to chase after the last remaining Nazi officials or something? Why did we get this boring campaign that's essentially just a flashback if these characters don't even get to do something with that background? I didn't mention much about the actual gameplay of the campaign, because there isn't much to it. The only cool thing is that each character has a special ability. Like, Arthur can command other troops, but it's not even as in-depth as the squad features in Republic Commando. Paulina can squish into every small opening, and she can even climb, but only in those few instances the game wants you to. Wade has an aimbot. And Lucas can carry multiple primary gadgets at once. Because this whole campaign is one big flashback episode, we never have the freedom of choice. It would have been so much more interesting if this game told a different story centered around these people working together. In that case, we could, for example, switch between characters according to the situation. Use Paulina to find secret passages, use Arthur to command the squad, or switch to Lucas or Wade to face waves of enemies. But I suppose what hurts the campaign the most is that the single player of Modern Warfare and Cold War were actually quite enjoyable. Modern Warfare had one of the best Call of Duty missions ever, and Cold War had slightly better combat. I even took notes during the Cold War campaign just for the fun of it. Also, Call of Duty World War II told the most overused story you could tell about the Second World War, yet it was far more engaging. Yes, D-Day and the race to Berlin are so original, I know. Still, Call of Duty World War II told a more coherent story about a team working together. And despite the limitation of the setting, it had the same kind of gameplay variety, if you want to call it that, like driving tanks, piloting in an airplane and so on. It even managed to make statements about the horrors of the Holocaust, while Vanguard is more concerned with removing bloodstained pages of the Quran for some butthurt people. But enough of the campaign. Let's talk about the multiplayer. Oh wait, one grip. There we go. Modern Warfare reskinned. So yeah, maps are mediocre, killstreaks bad, blah 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 blah, nothing new. I made a video about the Modern Warfare beta, what I say about the gameplay there, kinda applies to Vanguard as well. So yeah. Perhaps the most meme-worthy part is the gunsmiths, because it truly does not work in a World War II game. I've always wanted my STG-44 to shoot Russian ammo. You know, nowadays people have some pretty heated debates over whether to put optics on an AK or not. But then sledgehammer games be like... This gotta work, right? The two main selling points according to sledgehammer games are the new game modes and the operators. First of all, the game modes are nothing special. You and I both know that everyone always settles for team deathmatch, domination, search and destroy, whatever. No one's like, "Oi, the Garden Patrol, take my money!" It's not even that good. It's a mode with a moving objective. It's all... Second, the operators, because no other Call of Duty before that had operators. Whether it's Call of Duty or Battlefield, people are so sick of them. What happened to just being a grunt on the battlefield? I don't need a lobby full of Price and Ghost or whatever. Oh, every operator has their own personality, which basically translates to they all have annoying voice lines.
So in multiplayer, we get to actually make them talk, and you can hear them talk more.
Didn't think I'd come back, did you?
That brings me back to life.
You had that coming.
Honest question to the audience. Do you even care about operators in your semi-realistic war game? I mean, this isn't Overwatch or Valorant. Also, aren't these guys supposed to be a unit? Why are we fighting each other? Why are we Team A and Team B? Do you want to protect me from playing as a Wehrmacht soldier?
And all of a sudden, you're a Nazi.
Come on, the campaign is full of swastikas and the multiplayer has gory dismemberment. This is an M-rated game, so whom are you kidding, Sledgehammer? What happened to...
March together for victory! Kill all who rise against you! Victory will come when all others are dead! Stick together, we'll come out on top!
The way it is now, the game is pretty much stripped of all personality. Another noteworthy thing is the destructible environment, but it's nothing to write home about. You always know what to destroy. It's pretty much representative for the whole game. A feature that's not more thought through than needed for the trailer. Why is it that Titanfall 2 is one of the greatest first-person shooters ever, but Black Ops 3 is... it's okay, I guess. Why is it that people were stoked about a futuristic Battlefield, but not about a futuristic Call of Duty? Why is it that the destructible environment in Rainbow Six Siege is still exciting to this day when it got boring after 5 minutes in Vanguard? Call of Duty just never fully embraces its ideas. It's there to be advertised, and that's it. Another thing that's new is that you can now choose the combat pace before matchmaking, meaning you can choose how many players will be on the map. This ranges from what the maps were designed for to every map becomes shipment. They even advertised it like that, and I was pretty lost at this point.
When we were just first talking about it, the idea of making every map into shipment, I love that.
I guess I'll never understand the appeal of shipment 24/7. Hooray, you can grind and get easy kill streaks, but that's more luck than skill. All things considered, it makes me wonder whether I'm even part of the target audience. Clearly it's not made for those interested in history, nor is it made for firearm or military enthusiasts. And there are better alternatives for competitive players. Call of Duty has never been a hardcore FPS, even though Activision wants you to think you're a hardcore player. But I'd argue that most entries in the series always had something going on for them, besides just being Call of Duty. Vanguard, however, is purely made for the most casual of players. Stripped of anything that could be offensive or thought-provoking, sit down, consume, and pay $10 for that next skin bundle. In that regard, it perfectly follows the example of its predecessor Call of Duty World War II. I'm pretty convinced that the only reason we even got Vanguard is because World War II lacked content and variety.